right, back from beautiful Wildfire Hunts Vegas, whatever you want to call it. My co-host here has lost his voice completely. He didn't lose it, but it just doesn't sound the best. So you're gonna have only me for today. Of course, if he does want to make any comments, he will write them on his phone, and I will read out the comments. Kind of a short episode, just reviewing our fantasy teams. We did fantasy last week. Me being in 3 different leagues, him only being in one, but my other two, aren't money ones just for fun. But overall, I do think this is probably my worst team that I drafted. Mostly because my other team that I drafted was auto picked, and then like the second best team I have like Justin Jefferson, and that's like the only good piece I have. And I think this is my best well-rounded team. So since we're talking about my team, we'll start off. I have Jalen Hurts. That was my first overall pick. Really great guy, and I think overall he's gonna have a stellar season. If not an MVP type of season. And then my wide receivers, or my starting wide receivers, being Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams. Only thing that sucks about these guys is they're, both go on bye week on week 13. It's gonna be a little bit tougher for me, but it's fine. I think it'll be fine. Right now I do have Rashad White starting versus Minnesota, since Minnesota's defense is sucky. But you know as the week progresses, maybe I change that up. We'll see. Cause I also have Pierce starting over versus Baltimore. But like I said, as the week progresses, we'll see how this goes. Evan Ingram starting versus Indianapolis. I think that's gonna be a good matchup. So I'll probably keep him in the lineup instead of putting in Njoku, who is my backup tight end. And he's going against the Bengals, Cincinnati. And then Najee Harris, I have him at the flex position. Yeah. No, not really much to say because the San Francisco defense is kind of locked down. So I don't know if I'm going to start him. But like I said, as the week progresses, we'll decide, because my next player, being Jahan Dotson, you'll see on his team, he has Scary Terry, a.k.a. Terry McLaurin. If he's out, then Dotson's probably getting the start for me, since Sam Howell will probably only be throwing to him. So, then right below him, I have Pittman. Maybe start him. Can't really think of any notable Jacksonville cornerbacks besides Jalen Ramsey, and he was there ages ago. So, I don't really think there's going to be anybody to guard him. But we'll see. Like I said, I'll probably make more changes as the week progresses. And then David Njoku, I don't think I'm going to start him. Sky Moore, I could start him versus Detroit. Also very lackluster corners over there. They traded Jeff Okuda. And then my backup quarterback being Jared Goff. So, like I said, I think overall this is my best team I've drafted. On another league, I drafted also George Kittle. I think, in that same league, I got Justin Jefferson and George Kittle. And the only thing about George Kittle is that he's very injury prone sometimes. So, and right now, for me, I think I'm predicted to lose this week, but hopefully my top two guys come through, and I can, win this week. But we'll see. Like I said, right now the league, or the Yahoo, is saying that Diggs and Devontae aren't getting that many points. But yeah, we were gonna have a sit-in co-host for Sebastian, but he didn't want to be on camera. So instead, we just have mute Sebastian. So. And it's not that his voice is horrible, but it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I'm struggling to talk over here, so I doubt y'all want to hear this all video. So yeah, here's Gio.
He sounds like a smoker, and I mean, he left his voice at the pit. Can we blame him? No, we can't. And then my great cousin here had the first overall pick, so he had the luxury of drafting, of course.
Commissioner in the league, his first pick. I didn't pick that.
I really thought he rigged it for a second, but he didn't. But like I said, he had the luxury of drafting Patty Mahomes himself. Obviously, an amazing quarterback. The only quarterback that's going into week 1 with 2 Super Bowl championships under their belt, because every other quarterback either doesn't have a championship or is just only has one. So that's a fun fact for y'all. And then, of course, he drafted Deebo Samuel, basically a Swiss Army knife. He can run it. He can catch it. He can play tight end. He can probably play defense if he wanted to. Very versatile guy. I like that pickup for you. I think he's going to get you a bunch of points.
I am predicted to win, though.
Well,
It's 91, 99 to 75.
we'll talk about that because the guy that he's going against, his team is kind of. Anyways, we'll talk about it right now. Mike Williams from the Chargers, also a very good guy, very good secondary guy. I don't know if I would start. Yeah, no, I'd start him because if McLaurin is healthy, I'd start McLaurin. But
Might start Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is also very explosive. Yeah, Gabe Davis is also very explosive. And then we have Mixon in the backfield. Great guy. Obviously, a guy that Sebastian thinks could win Offensive Player of the Year, which I think so too if he's in that right offense. But
Refresh your screen.
oh, did you update it? What'd you do? Okay. Then Pacheco, obviously that's the number one guy over there in Kansas City. They've made that, obviously very clear. I think him and Alaire, whatever, I don't remember his first name, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think that's his first name. I thought it was Carlos. Yeah, Clyde the Glide. I don't think they'll be splitting the backfield, but you never know. Yeah, and Jerick McKinnon. But I think those are guys that, maybe have to come in. But I think Pacheco is really number one guy over there. And you're starting Dawson Knox. Very great guy to start. Josh Allen always looks at him as a safety blanket. But a lot of people are saying that the rookie for Buffalo, that's a tight end, will probably start. Or not start, but get more reps. So we'll see how that goes down this week. Obviously, there's a lot of unknowns since we're going into this week, not knowing how defenses are going to look, not knowing how offenses are going to look. Obviously, there's also holdouts, too. I don't know if you saw Brian Burns from the Panthers might be holding out. Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs is probably holding out.
Jalen Waddle's going to hold out week 1.
Yeah, they say Jalen Waddle.
He's good to go.
Yeah.
Same thing with Burrow.
Yeah. And I do think Burrow will sit out if he has to. Obviously, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to jeopardize yourself either if you're going to try and attempt another Super Bowl run. So, be better in the long run than for the, obviously short run. Anyways, James Cook, they're saying to sit this guy. James Cook versus the Jets defense. They're saying Jets defense is going to lock him down. But I don't know.
Run defense is terrible.
No, but they say like passing wise because Buffalo offense automatically goes towards more of a pass offense, not a run offense. So that's what the guy told me on TikTok. But obviously I don't have James Cook on a team, so I was like I scrolled past it, but that's what I read. Dalton Schultz, very great pickup. One of my favorite guys. Terry McLaurin, obviously this is what we're talking about. Questionable. So if he is out, I am starting Jahan Dotson 100% because that's the guy that Sam Howell is probably looking at, and he'll probably rack up a lot of points, unless there's an unknown or no name on that team, like Curtis Samuel on that team. Yeah, like Curtis Samuel, I guess. But your backup quarterback being Mr. Concussion himself, Tua Tagovailoa, and then Gabe Davis, which I think will have a very good game against the Jets if he's not covered by Sauce Gardner or Bryce Hall the whole time. Bryce Hall. Anyways, then for defenses, he has Jacksonville and Philadelphia's defense, and I had Miami's defense. Now, the reason Sebastian's projected to win 69% to 31% is because his opponent basically has an empty wide receiver spot right now. And then he has Joe Burrow, questionable. Jalen Waddle, questionable. Josh Jacobs is in. But they just don't know how his production is going to be since, obviously you have Jimmy Garoppolo now that can actually throw the ball. Not saying Derek Carr couldn't throw the ball, but he wasn't the best at throwing the ball. I won't forget how he sold me last season with Devontae Adams, which I got Devontae Adams again this season, so hopefully I don't get sold. Anyways, David Montgomery, which is splitting the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs, and I do think Jahmyr Gibbs is getting more of those reps, but we'll see. Like I said, this is a lot of unknowns because a lot of offenses, and I think he's seen this too, a lot of offenses are running two running back fields now. They're Texans offense, Pierce and Singletary. Lions, obviously Montgomery and Gibbs. Falcons supposedly are going to run Patterson Patterson's not going to be running back. He's going to be running back? Okay, because I had heard it was Tyler Algier, and Bijan in the backfield. And then obviously the Patriots with Zeke and Stevenson. There's a lot of two running back backfields. That's why fantasy's so not weird, but it's like you don't know who's gonna be getting more of the reps that week. Like, and that's why I was iffy because I had Ramondre Stevenson's on the board, and I was like, oh, like yeah, like I should take Stevenson, and then obviously. Always stay hydrated. Anyways, obviously I was like, I have the option to take Stevenson right now, but I'm like, oh, but wait, if I take Stevenson, then I have the chance of him having a lackluster game because Zeke took more of the balls, and that was my thing about drafting Pierce. But obviously Pierce is my dog. He's Texans, come on, I couldn't pass up on that. Hawkinson, that is also questionable, and then of course he has Gallup for Dallas, which Dallas is just not good. So, anyways, that's a joke. And then Dallas defense. And then on his bench, he has. Damn, is he a Dallas fan? Oh, I could tell. He has Jake Ferguson, Dallas. Dak Prescott, Dallas. Brandon Cooks, Dallas. Van Jefferson, Rams. And then, can you guess it? Deuce Vaughn, Dallas, which is another guy that they say is going to split up the backfield a lot.
He's a big Dallas fan.
He's a big day. I could tell. His whole team is mostly Dallas. So you got a kind of easy win this week. I got a guy that obviously he has a secondary wide receiver. Yours doesn't.
You're playing Graham.
He's playing who?
You're playing Graham.
Oh yeah, Graham is. I'll read y'all my opponent's team. My opponent's team was, I don't know. Yep, Aaron Rodgers, which I think is a really, really good pickup, especially if you still haven't drafted yet and you're watching this video. Pick up Aaron Rodgers, if you can, in the late rounds, because he's going to have very good wide receivers to throw to. Obviously, he's going to have McCole Hartman, Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, even Randall Cobb, all these guys that he can trust. And then Tyler Conklin is also a really good tight end because tight ends are scarce right now on the fantasy scene. So if you're drafting this week, and you can pick up Aaron Rodgers in a late round, do it, because I think he's gonna be underrated.
My dad, week 8.
I play your dad in week 8. Tyreek Hill, very very good, very a speedster. That's the thing also about drafting a team with two good wide receivers, because you don't know who's gonna get more of those catches, because it's obviously Waddle and him. And then Chris Olave. Obviously, I think he's going to be number one guy. They're not looking at Slant Man no more. It's kind of Olave's team now. Austin Eckler, a guy that they say is also sharing the backfield with Isaiah Spiller, I think. Travis Etienne also sharing the backfield with Tank Bigsby, a guy that they say could possibly be the next Franco Harris. I think that's what they said, the bus. Jerome Bettis, not Franco Harris. Jerome Bettis. Messed up the names, but I don't know my legends like that. I don't play Madden, so. Anyways, then obviously Darren Waller, someone that a lot of guys were looking at. Keenan Allen, very good wide receiver. Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, Deontay Johnson, Dalton Knapp. That's the guy I was saying that's probably gonna be splitting catches with Dawson Knox. And then Derek Carr, which I think is a really good pickup. And then Baltimore. And that's the guy I'm going against. So we'll see how that goes for me. Rush Pike. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, just a quick video. It was just to review our fantasy teams. Obviously, whenever he gets his voice back next week, which he will get it back, hopefully, we're gonna do basically recap of
all of week 1.
Yeah, so what you can expect is us to talk about, Thursday night, obviously Sunday night's games, and then Monday night's games. All of those games are going to be recapped, and we'll have our stinker of the week. So, we'll have who we think had the worst performance. Obviously, it was going to be different people maybe, but, and then performance of the week, who we think had the best week. And we're really trying not to be biased. We're gonna try and watch most games. But obviously we're Texans fans, so if we say, oh, John Mechie had a really good catch, and you know, y'all are like, well, Devontae Adams also had that one-hander and he caught it with his feet. Like, okay, yeah, but you know, obviously, if we didn't see it or NFL doesn't highlight it, which they probably will, then it's kind of tough. You like a girl. Anyways, yeah, just a small 15-minute video for y'all. Nothing too long. Nothing y'all can't handle. That sounded wrong. Anyways, this is us checking out from Wildfire City, aka Huntsville. Like I said in the beginning, yeah.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Each like that y'all give, it's a better chance of me getting my voice back.
So that's like 2 likes. Let's go.